This is how I lost thousands of pounds in property when I started out. Hi everyone, hope you're well. My name's Joe Edwards. I'm a property trainer and mentor, and right now I'm going to tell you how I lost thousands of pounds when I started out in property. Now, obviously, it's still a sensitive topic. It's not stuff I like to discuss because I like to move on and not dwell in the past. However, when I started out in property, I had a property mentor. They taught me everything about rent-to-rent HMO, but not about service accommodation. And this is why we like to include it in our strategy, so we don't have people falling for these traps like I did. So when I started out, I got some HMOs, they were doing really well, and I wanted to dive into service accommodation. However, I didn't really have any formal training, but I thought, how hard can it be? Let's just go out, find a service accommodation, put it on the market and make some money. Great. How naive I was. I ended up finding a deal on Facebook for a very big, well-known organization. Now, I'm not going to tell you who it is. If you're interested, write a comment on this saying interested or I want to know down below and I'll send you a message. So I found this company, very big, very well known, and I bought a deal off them. I paid £3,000, I think it was, and it was a 3-bedroom masonette in Reading Town Centre. And this was a service accommodation. So the rent was fairly cheap. Off the top of my head, it was quite a few years ago now. It was £1,200 a month rent. It needed furnishing, it needed photos, it needed all that sort of stuff. But it's a 3-bedroom property, masonette in the centre of Reading, perfect for workers, contractors, families, tourists. Like, it met all different guest avatars. So it's perfect property and it should have made really, really good money. However, I trusted this company to manage it as well. So I bought this deal with management. How wrong I was to do that with this company. I openly stated to this company that this is my first ever rent-to-rent service accommodation, and I'm putting a lot of trust into this company to make sure it runs well. They assured me by saying, don't worry, we know what we're doing. This property is going to do really, really well. Let's take it on. So I took the property on, and yeah, that's when it went downhill. They were then charging me money for furnishings, and a lot of the furnishing was actually already there, and they were going this, such as TV, wardrobe, and I said, but it's already there, it's on the viewing. They were then taking it off, going, okay, you don't need to pay for that. And I was like, what am I paying for here? Because when I'm saying something's already there, you're taking it off, like, you're very easy to say, okay, don't worry about that. So why am I paying you now £4,000 or £5,000 for furnishing when half of it's already there? So that's red flag number one. And again, I didn't view this property, I didn't see it, I just put all trust into this sourcing and management company. Long story short, we were not getting any bookings, literally nothing. It's a 3-bedroom property in the city centre, and I mean city centre of Reading. Anyone knows Reading, it was on Wayland Street. That is literally 2 streets away from like the main shopping mall and all this sort of stuff. So it bang smack in the centre. Perfect property for service accommodation. We're getting no bookings. We had one booking come in that was like 30 days long after about 4 or 5 months of having it, and I think it was around £8,000 if I remember correctly. Now this booking changed. It changed to somebody with the same name, the same email address, all this sort of stuff. However, it changed from £8,000 to £1,200. And I was like, wait a minute, it's a 30-day booking. I'm 100% occupied for this month, and yet I'm still losing money. How is this possible? And they said, well, the actual original guest cancelled, and we had to scramble around trying to find another guest, which we have done, but it's for a cheaper rate. But I was like, how can it go from £8,000 to this? The name of the person is exactly the same. This is the same. So I questioned the company, and I said, okay, can you send me the booking.com confirmation of the original booking? Can you send me the cancellation confirmation of when they cancelled it? And then can you send me the new booking confirmation? I want to see the documents. We can't provide that. We can't show you that information, blah, 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 blah. So then I questioned them and said, I think you've taken that money, because all signs led to that. They couldn't prove otherwise, and I thought that they took the money and then they updated the booking platform with something a lot less, because the money went into their bank, and then they said you're only getting £1,200. Bear in mind, they're still taking a management fee on top of that. So I was actually only receiving about £900 in total. 30-day booking in the middle of Reading. Come on. So yeah, long story short, that's kind of what happened, and that went on for a while. And in total, I think we had it for around 7-8 months, made no money, lost money every single month, sourcing fee, furniture, all this sort of stuff. It went massively downhill, and it's all because of this one company. So yeah, when you start out, make sure you have a mentor. Make sure you have someone who can guide you. We do this with all our mentees now, all of the time. If they have a deal, even if a sourcer sent them a deal, we will tell you if that deal sourcer is good, not good, who they are, the background, and we will also analyze the deal for you and make sure it's a good deal. I have learned from my lesson, and I now make sure that none of my mentees fall into that trap. I am here every single step of the way for them. Do not get stung by trying to take shortcuts. Make sure you do due diligence and make sure the property works. Hopefully you've enjoyed that video. Sensitive topic. There's a lot more information about it. If you want to learn more, come on one of our Zooms, ask me. I'm more than happy to go through it with you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. That's why I lost thousands of pounds in property. Peace.